Where do you see yourself fitting in this year, Brendon, in terms of season proper?
My role's not going to change too much, talking to a few of the coaches. Spent a bit more time late in the season down back, so probably find myself a little bit more there. But saying that, with the development of Connor McKenna, the recruitment of Adam Sard will really strengthen our back and our run and our ball use. And then the loss of Job and a couple of senior inside mids, I'll find myself probably juggling between the two, which is not too dissimilar to other years.
When you get to this age, do you mentally prepare differently for a season? Do you prepare as if it's going to be potentially a final year, or do you not look at it?
No, I'm not looking at that. I guess we're all painted with the same brush when we turn 30, so once you kind of get over that hurdle, which, yeah, to be honest, took a bit of time to get your head around, thinking that you're on one-year deals now, you've got little security than you had for, say, 10 or 12 years, from personal experience. Takes a little bit to get over and put your ego aside. But I've well and truly done that now. This is my second year, 1 year deals, or third year. Time flies, but yeah, it is what it is, mate. You just move on and prepare for the season like I would any other season. If I get a choice to go out on my own terms, we all dream of doing that. But at the end of the day, you do what's best for the team.
Where do you see the improvement coming from overall, Brendon? Like some of the younger boys progressing well, and obviously you recruited well.
Yeah, we did. Like most teams, the development and the improvement comes from that middle tier guys, and we've obviously got a large group in that window now where they're, say, 45 to 100 games, getting the experience, getting the fitness base to be able to get through a full season, to be able to deal with the rigours of AFL, the training and games, and find that durability. So we've got a lot of guys in that window, but that's where we're going to find our improvement from. We know what we're going to get from HEP. Myself and a few of the older guys that have done it for regularly for a long time. So the improvement's going to come out of those middle tier guys, middle group.
Feel you can challenge the top four?
Oh, mate, everyone is this time of year. We're all flying. We're all in our best shape ever, and so you should be. Like we're all striving to improve like everyone else is. So, but not at one point do we talk about results. If it's top four, but it is. As cliche it is about just continual improvement. We don't sit back now and think about making top four and thinking about results. That's detrimental to the team and your mental state, in my opinion.
So much external noise about, given the recruitment, about climbing up in top four and even premiership. Some people talking that sort of thing. It's so far away, but how do you keep that in check when you have got a younger group?
It is about addressing it, accepting it that is the external talk and the hype outside these walls of the footy club. And it's easy to wander in that direction. Don't get me wrong mentally, but it is about accepting it for the noise outside. We talk about the noise, and then bringing back the group to what's important and what we want to improve and what we deem to be important and what the team wants to get out of the year. We keep bringing back to our values and our trademarks, and I think it's not easy, but it's easy to keep a check on it and keep guys reined in from venturing off too far.
And do you use last year's elimination final loss as motivation going to this season, or do you kind of erase it out of the memory bank?
Well, not erase it. We address the issue, address the game, see where we need to improve, and we got taught a lesson about experience, big bodies around the ball in particular. So it's not motivation at all. We're realistic of how we performed and what it was. So we use it as a tool to improve, which we have done. There's some criticism at the end of last year. We didn't watch the game, but we've addressed that coming back in early December in the first couple of weeks of pre-season. So, yeah, we're not naive. We know where we went wrong and where we need to improve, which is good. It was a first taste for finals football for a lot of us, and particularly with where the groups come from, what the majority have gone through, or a bunch of guys have gone through. It was a pretty good step holistically looking at the season.
And with guys like James Kelly, Joe Watson and Brent Stanton leaving the club, are there any younger guys who've stepped up to leadership capacity?
I don't like to talk about individuals too much. So there is a responsibility that the whole group, and I talked about before, the middle tier guys, or middle-aged guys, to take on the responsibility of leadership and to drive the club forward. They essentially will shape the club, and it'll look how they want it to look in 10 years' time. They're with a bit of help from everyone else, but there's an expectation that they take on responsibility, that there's a void left by a number of those guys you spoke about, and we need, and the game demands that guys stand up into those roles.
At St Kilda, you were obviously part of a really successful group there that went deep into September. Are you seeing the same standards being met now here?
Yeah, just in terms of training, consistency of training, intensity. We've really worked hard on that from the time I've arrived. It was an area where we identified we need to improve, and a few of us coming from different teams, and Cal in particular sharing his thoughts on what made them successful and the traits and habits they taught themselves through training. And really a game's a reflection of the way you train. So we've worked really hard at that, and there's no doubt there's been improvement in consistency. And that doesn't guarantee results. That gives you your best opportunity to get better and improve. But there has been a lift and a more consistent effort in that area that you spoke about.
How do you see Joe Danaher improving this year?
A lot of improvement. He's obviously an offensive weapon, but we're driving Joey to get better defensively. We all see his assets offensively, and he'll continue to do that and work on those. But he's got the attitude, and I've said it since the day I arrived and first met Joey. He's got a great attitude to want to improve and get better.
How does he get better defensively? Is it sort of manning up more?
Just everything, and we all do. We've identified that as an area that we need to improve, because offensively we were really good last year, and naturally guys are really good at that. That's why you get drafted. So the hard thing is then to change your mentality about defence, place an importance on it, train it, which we've done as a whole group this year.
We saw you in the International Rules series in November. Have you been able to transfer any of those skills across, do you think?
No, not really. Goalkeeper, yeah, it doesn't really translate in AFL, but no, I'm always looking at areas to improve and get better. So, subconsciously I took a few things away with spending time with great players, coaches, and asking questions, learning off different guys, being out with them over dinner, talking about football, all that kind of thing. So there's little things that I'll pick up along the way, but the game itself and my role played in that game doesn't really translate in the AFL.
Yeah.